Welcome to the bold analysis. Something is happening, or something happened in Sudan to a Kenyan ambassador, General Ndegwa Mukwala. And what is most shocking is the fact that the foreign affairs team back in the country are quiet about it, and the silence is really something that really needs to worry all of us. Kalonzo Musyoka has the dossier and is going to give us the details of that development. But before that, I am reaching out to you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a crisis, and the crisis is real. This month, you can see the women you are seeing in your screen. They are stranded in hospital. These are women that delivered and had postnatal complications, and after and the bill ballooned because after Uhuru Kenyatta left, that Linda Mama scaled down the amount it was supporting to 5,000. So because these women delivered with complications, they have not been able to leave the hospital despite the fact that they have been discharged because of the ballooning bill. Now, on our space, we said that in our political podcast, apart from pointing governance issues and the gaps, we are also part of the solution. And that is why this month, when I walked through and I was tipped about it, I visited them, I interacted with them, and I can tell you, it's a big crisis. Remember, imagine after giving birth and you're in the hospital for more than 1 month. The kids have been taken to nursery, some still have the children, and there is even the risk. The more they stay there, there are those who still have other children back home who also need their mothers, but now they have to be there because of the bill. And that is why this month, our corporate social responsibility, the project will do is to ensure that we release these 7 women from the hospital on Friday. And that is why I want to humbly request you to extend your support by participating in the challenge. We are doing a 100-bob challenge to support these stranded women, and I promised them that on Friday I will discharge them as Team Bold Charity Network. So kindly, let's share. I am so glad that I'm seeing a number of people that maybe are coming to the channel for the first time and they're really embracing it, and I want to say thank you for those who are already participating. As little as 100, I know that by Friday, Jeza Kidogo Jeza Kibaba, I will be able to paint a smile in the faces of these 7 beautiful women. Kindly support this. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka, in a statement, he was looking a bit devastated, is opening up on her encounter or the call he made to the Kenyan ambassador, who explained what exactly happened.
I tried to call ambassador in Khartoum, and I didn't get him because obviously I've been following developments in that country, a member country of IGAD, and we all know that Sudan, and particularly Khartoum, has been devastated because of a conflict between General Boran and General Meti. And General Meti was received the other day here in Nairobi, and to my shock, I caught up with General Mukala, who has been ambassador in Khartoum, and what he explained to me shocked me because of 2 things. First, the gravity of what he went through as ambassador, Kenya's ambassador to Sudan, and secondly, the amazing silence from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or indeed the Kenya Kwanza government, that our whole embassy, the residence of our ambassador in Khartoum, was ransacked. Ambassador was almost killed. He escaped by tuk-tuk, by whatever means, across into Ethiopia and flew back home. Nobody seems to even know what was happening. Everything, he seems to have lost everything. So when I called him from Juba, he was in a very, very difficult mood. I think he needed counseling. And we would have expected particularly when Hemeti, because these are Hemeti soldiers who ransacked our embassy in Khartoum, a residence of the ambassador in Khartoum. We expected to hear a statement from Ruto and in the meeting he had with Hemeti on why that had to happen. So this is a shocking thing, and I wanted to ask the ministry. If the ministry is afraid to speak, then the committee in Parliament in charge of foreign relations and defense should summon Mudavadi to come and explain what happened and who is going to have to deal with that devastating situation in our embassy in Khartoum. And the perpetrators are known, because what is actually happening right now is General Buran is operating from Port Said, and Hemeti soldiers have taken over Khartoum. But we want to know, how can, in contravention of all the known international diplomatic norms based on the Vienna Convention, how an embassy of a friendly country can be ransacked and run over? So we expect a very clear statement. Personally, I do expect a very unequivocal, clear statement on what happened to General Mukala and the members of staff in our embassy in Khartoum.
So he's currently...
I think he was seeking counseling. I spoke to him on phone. Everything was taken away. He had to get a new set of phones. But he was able to explain to me how he escaped. First of all, he was engaged and traumatized, and the embassy car, complete with the Kenyan flag, was driven away by the thugs. Something.
The magnitude, how big it was.
Yeah.
So, and you say the soldiers are affiliated to a general who came to see the president?
Yeah. They are. These are called RS whatever, Rapid Reserve Unit. Mm-hmm. This is a unit that was started by General President al-Bashir that time, and General Hemeti. And of course they were quarreling over when to hand over to civilian rule. That's when the whole thing started. And that country is literally in shambles. So as IGAD countries try to ask for peace, negotiate, we expect also that, of course, Kenya is not seen to be a neutral player. Mm-hmm. This is a fact.
And this information is very shocking because it is coming at a time when Kenya had tried even to go to mediate about it. But I just want to take, I just want to quote some of the few that he has said there, that our ambassador in Sudan, Major General Ndegwa, was attacked and was nearly killed by soldiers. And this is what is so shocking. Soldiers allied to General Hemedi, who was entertained by President William Ruto at Statehouse, Nairobi. Look at this meeting. This video was a month ago, and this is the General Hemedi that met President William Ruto in Nairobi. And that meeting was hailed as part of the peace process in Sudan. And of course, for those who are interacting with this for the first time, maybe I want us to put it to a context. They're saying last year, William Ruto offered in his capacity under IGAD to lead the mediation talks between the Sudan General and the Rapid Forces, which is the paramilitary. And the Sudanese generals, which could be now the army, if it is in Kenyan country like the army, accused William Ruto of having an interest and being aligned with the paramilitary. Remember, that was due to some other tweets that came from Ndindi Nyoro, Moses Kuria, that were reacting to the Sudanese crisis. And they rejected any other move by William Ruto, even through IGAD, by William Ruto to mediate the peace in South Sudan. So I remember there were streams of videos that used to come from that end, while the Sudanese generals, the Sudan generals, actually coming out and making live statements in live televisions, in videos that were captured in cameras, saying that they were warning that they didn't want William Ruto to take up that role. So despite of that, that statement by then, and consequently, I think after some months, William Ruto was dropped from that responsibility. But then, I don't know what is happening, because later on, that meeting that I made happened. And according to a statement by Kalonzo, the soldiers that attacked the Kenyan embassy in Sudan are linked to the gentleman that William Ruto entertained here, that William Ruto met here in Nairobi. That is the statement coming from. From Kalonzo, and Kalonzo is saying the government is actually saying, is denying, and they're saying that they evacuated Kenyans that were in Sudan, plus the consulate team, the mission, the people working, the ambassadors, plus the ambassador, when the war started. In fact, they are denying that there was that attack. But according to Kalonzo, and if the way Kalonzo is saying, is that this happened when Musalia Mudavadi was in charge, and despite the fact that, according to Kalonzo, despite the fact that the fellows know very well, but they have decided they're not part of it, and they have failed to offer leadership and even give a statement on this. They're saying, when the war broke up in 2015, April, the government started the process of evacuating its citizens. This is according to PS. The embassy under Ambassador Mukala played a critical role in that process. All technical and financial resources for the evacuation were offered. I think I've just missed it. And to get it, I don't know why it's not coming. Yes. All technical and financial resources were offered through the ambassadors. I've just missed it. I just want to get it. When the embassy was attacked, the government sent out a strong protest letter to the Sudanese government and started to mobilize evacuation of the embassy staff and ambassador. The government flew ambassador to Addis Ababa, then to Nairobi. We did what we could to support the entire mission in an effort that was successful, all factors kept constant. So, but the picture being created is technically different. Now, I want us to say here, and what is striking to me is the fact that it is being linked to the paramilitary. There is something I'm seeing here, that we've gotten ourselves in the middle of all this conundrum because of something we could actually avoid. Why is Mudavadi silent? That is the question. Why is Mudavadi silent about it? And this is going to be very brief and of course very predictable. Number one, our unbiased approach in this Sudanese crisis was actually a big mess. As much as there is some, two people are fighting, but we seem to have taken a position, and that position is not a secret. Even those we are mediating already know very well that we have a specific position. So that is the first mistake that we made, and that is why maybe we are paying off in this unfamiliar way. We started it on a wrong footing. Number two, Ruto is protecting an image that the government has failed in its diplomatic policy, in its diplomatic role, especially in the region. And that is why this is being kept as a secret, because according to what Kalonzo is saying is the ambassador looks devastated. And in fact, if you listen to the voice of Kalonzo, he's talking about the ambassador. So it seems there is that which is cannot yet come out clearly. It is not yet, the information is not more clear. But there is that which is happening that seems to show that that ambassador is feeling aggrieved but cannot just speak out. And that is why Kalonzo Musyoka is speaking on his behalf. He feels aggrieved, and that is why this information is coming out, or rather he feels that he was unfairly treated or he was not handled fairly. Number three, this news projects an insecurity scare, portrays a regional insecurity scare for the country, and probably that is why we are living it. But then I feel we needed to become more clear in terms of this. And what should worry President is, how would it be that people that attacked our ambassador, our mission in Sudan, are the people that we entertained? Because according to Kalonzo Musyoka, that seems to be the bone of contention, why we are entertaining these people. So thank you guys. That is my take. I still want to remind you as I finish this video that kindly we need to release the 7 women from that hospital this Friday. I promised them, and I took up this as part of our corporate social responsibility for this month of February. Unlike us, we normally put one noble pluralism, where we want to support many, one noble cause in a month, and that becomes our monthly project. And we support so that apart from just being the political analysis and poking holes and pointing governance issues and pointing out some of the gaps in the governance, we are also partly part of the solution in a little way we can be. And this is a noble cause. For me, I don't feel conflicted when I know and I feel this is the right thing. And of course, I know that we can fill the gap, and by the end of the day, we'll paint a smile in the faces of these beautiful women who are stranded. Thank you, and guys, let's participate and let's support this.